How do you see voice transforming businesses? Do you have any cases where people are using voice to generate leads or convert leads?
There's definitely a few different areas, whether it's on the more classic customer support use cases where you, instead of having a old IVR system or no system, you can now deploy a voice agent that will take the calls instead and will both delight the customers on the other side because it understands you, it's quick, it's good, but then also just performs better. And then outside of customer support, we are seeing that across the entire lifecycle of the user journey. In some places where it adds an experience that wasn't possible before. And a simple case is inside of the product or even outside of the product. And you might have seen back in the day, there was those widgets for chat. Yeah. Now you could have a voice agent that helps you navigate through the product experience. So it becomes your like a partner, programmer, product person that helps you navigate through that life cycle. And you also mentioned, so of course, some of the big pieces is in inbounding and outbounding. We actually use it ourselves in ElevenLabs too, where of course we do have a standard flow. We have people that will answer the reply and take a phone call too. But if you want to go quicker, you can speak straight directly with our agent to understand our product offering, understand our pricing, understand what you can do with the product, which helps you accelerate through the pipeline, depending and sometimes self-disqualify if you are not the right fit for our product offering, and sometimes helps you accelerate, okay, this is exactly the set of use cases I can do, this is how I can deploy, and then routes it to other people.
So it doesn't actually convert?
It's in some cases it does. In some cases, it's as a quick step back, we have a few different tiers. We have like a business tier and an enterprise tier. So it does convert immediately sometimes to the business tier program.
Because it's a preset.
Because it's preset, it's self-serve. On the enterprise side, we all still run KYC checks, so it doesn't do that immediately. But on the business one, it does. And then we've seen some of those voice agents also from a lot of the technology and platform we built help in a completely different non-commercial aspects too.
Quick follow-up question for about the sales process. Have you measured the conversion percentage into sales with the AI voice salesperson?
We did, but given it was, and I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but given there was alternative before, would have been just waiting. So it was just a net new amount of leads, and we receive so much inbound of using a lot of the products, which we are lucky to have, that it helped us just convert so many more leads that we would have otherwise taken weeks, months, or maybe never gotten into.
How can I set this up for my company? How can I set this up for my company?
The easiest one would be to register on our platform. So that part of offering, and we have two key offerings, is our agentic platform offering. You jump into the platform and we help you abstract two elements. The first one is all the research or experience complexity. So we help you connect the speech, the LLM elements, the text-to-speech elements. So the agent speaks in a smooth and a quick way. So it's a low latency, a reliable part on that side. And then there's a second part where you will need to spend a little bit more time on bringing your business logic in place. So example could be, what's the knowledge base of how your business operates, or what are the questions you want to be asked? What are the materials you want to surface? So you would bring that into the platform. Then we have a set of workflows that you can set up. Effectively imagine like, if this happens, or if this happens, I want this function to trigger. This could be, if someone is calling me and I want to schedule an appointment, we have a predefined workflow for you to be able to do it. So it can look into your calendar, find an appointment.
Selling a course, basically, like what LanguageTrip does. We sell courses. So basically,
okay, so even simpler
to sell courses to people. Can I do it in different languages using my voice?
You can.
Wow.
So you could, and so it's selling the courses, and the people would call in, buy the course, and off to they go, and maybe they on board with the agent later on to help.
How do they buy over the phone? Do you send them a link, ask for their email, or they just, yeah?
It depends, but the simplest would be what you suggest, which is we do have an omni-channel solution where you effectively get a link as part of that, and you can leave additional details, or you have a follow-up on the email of like a checkout subscription for the course. So both of those would be possible. Or you could, depending on how that website is set up, you could effectively embed the agent on your website. So it helps you redirect to the subscription page. It guides you through it, and they check out themselves live with the agent that helps them
Wow.
fill in the form. But like you said, one of the great things on the function side is that you can switch languages. You can hand over, like,
That's
let's say.
fascinating for my business.
So it's, I mean, you've been pioneering a lot of that language learning work, and I think this would be amazing because both it would switch the language and it would switch it with your own voice if that was your own voice. So it continues speaking in that same manner. And then, of course, the last piece is all the integration. So we support
I didn't know
integrations
you
with.
had it. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's one of the big, so it's maybe that's a good cue for me as well, but because when we started the company, we of course started from pioneering of the research and the speech side. So text to speech, voices, and then we expanded to speech to text, orchestration models, now music. But as we think about the research, it's always how we can push the audio frontier forward.
I love how you found this new opportunity and now it's a bigger chunk of your business, as far as I understand. How much would it cost for a business like mine, small business, to have AI answer the calls and sell?
I think and of course it depends on the volume, but I think what hopefully will happen is that both you will see more people coming through, and if we set it up in the right way, maybe this will mean even opening up the channel, which over time hopefully means even more calls. But I think to start, it would be in order of hundreds of dollars per month.
It's also IP calling, right? Is integrated in that.
Yes, so we integrate with Twilio or telephony systems.
Okay, so whatever we're
so you
using.
can bring any
Nice.
phone number that you already have, and it works. I don't know who currently, do you already accept any of the calls coming through the telephone too, or it's all on the website?
We mostly try to navigate them to WhatsApp because a lot of people who are calling, they don't speak English, so they don't feel comfortable. But if we advertise that it's, Marina's voice, AI, nobody's judging your accent, because I feel like when people even talk to me, if they're not a native speaker, the first thing they do, they're like, I'm sorry, my English is not as good as you. I'm like, it doesn't matter. But I feel like even like using English to make a phone call is such a huge barrier for non-native speakers. And I feel like if you understand that you're talking to AI, it just makes it so much easier.
That's true. It doesn't judge. You can
Yeah.
do mistakes, which is maybe there's a completely other aspect. What you of course been helping people learn languages for a long time, but maybe there's even an aspect where they could practice speaking their language with you, which would be like a kind of a slightly different, of course, deployment, but completely possible where you can give them tips, improve, and effectively create a Marina's Duolingo that people have
absolutely.
dynamic experience with, which is another kind of incredible area that's growing in the tech space.
Are you enjoying this clip? On my main channel, Silicon Valley Girl, I share how to 10x your productivity with AI, launch your own AI business, and use tech as your unfair advantage. This is your golden age to build. And some people say we only have a couple of years to build. I don't know about that, but whether you want to become irreplaceable at work or level up as a solo creator, I am here for you. Subscribe now to not only watch the highlights, but to get the full playbook.